Ciao everyone and welcome back to another episode of Learn Italian with Songs. Specifically, today we are going to talk about Fuorilegge by Rose Villain. As usual, let's start from the translation, which is literally outlaw. In fact, in Italian, it is the same logic, fuori, out or outside, legge, law. So it is literally fuori, legge, out, law. Okay? This was the entry by Rose Villain for Sanremo Music Festival 2025 edition. And despite placing itself kind of low because we are talking about 19th place out of 30 that were actually 29th, as I always say, because the Emischilla was disqualified before even starting. And yes, we are going to talk about a song considered, as Gasso says, Eurovision and TikTok material. Why? First of all, because it is generally a quite simple song from the point of view of the lyrics, but the dance, it is very TikTokish, and the song is quite good rhythm to dance, okay? To put it in perspective, what's the meaning described by Rose Villain herself in one of the interviews? As usual, I take... bless you, Alex. As usually, I take a statement by the author in Italian and I translate it. So, Fuorilegge is a song about desire. I always like to explore the various sides of love, and I realized that the part of desire, of almost suffocating passion, is actually perhaps one of the things that makes you feel most alive. If Fuorilegge were an image or a photograph, perhaps it would be that of a person in a bed, rising in love under a starry sky, like being excruciated by love in under a starry sky. So, I think it's breathing, not writing. Anyway, you get the point. The vibe, ideally speaking, so not musically, I mean lyrics-wise, reminds me a lot of Balorda Nostalgia by Olli the Tranked First, and I will show you why in a moment when we are going to analyze the lyrics. However, there's a twist at the end that we can find both in Balorda Nostalgia by Olli, but also La Cura per me by Giorgia, missing in this song, in the story told through the song. I'm going to show you right away. So let's dive into the lyrics. We start with an intro, quite simple. Cosa fai? What do you do? Mentre tutti dormono. While everyone is sleeping. Question. And then we have one of our best friends forever. Chissà se mi pensi o no. We are finding chissà in basically all the songs recently. And in this case, to put it in perspective even more, I translated it as I wonder if you think of me or not, like if you think about me or not. Mentre la luna cala su di noi, while the moon sets on us. So, setting, the narrator, the singer, is asking, like is wondering about her lover. What do you do while everyone is asleep? So, reminding the starry sky mentioned by Rose Villain while describing the song, the concept of the song. Do you think about me? Maybe yes, maybe not. So we have the classical, almost stereotypical situation post-breakup, where one of the lovers is thinking in bed at night, is my ex thinking about me? Are you thinking about me talking to your ex? Because to be honest, probably we all have been through one of those situations after right after a breakup. We are trying to fall asleep and we start wondering about our ex. Relatable. And then we have the first verse. Now, remember that the intro ends with a reference to the moon. And in fact, the start of the first verse is referencing the moon. Splende in alto, guarda. Shines high, it watches, as in the moon. So we have the moon shining high in the sky and watching over the narrator, our lover, after the breakup, who's wandering, who's struggling in bed. Mai una volta giudica, never once judges. So it would be, in other words, the moon shines high, watches, but never once judges. Nostalgia puttana. Literally, it would be nostalgia bitch whore. In this case, in Italian, is as the balorda nostalgia by Olli. So, like, damn nostalgia, curse nostalgia. So, we have our narrator being mad about the fact that they feel nostalgic, okay? Because they miss the ex, but they don't want to because this causes pain. You know the situation. Sono sola come lei. I'm lonely like her. And we are still talking about the moon. So the moon shines high, watches, and never judges. I'm lonely like her. Why did I translate her? To friendly remind you all that Italian has genders, and specifically we have two of them. We have feminine and masculine. No middle way, no neuter. So, problem, because this means, matter of fact, even objects have a gender, right? And these comprehend also concepts, celestial bodies like the moon. So, for example, we have il sole, which is masculine, and the moon, which is feminine. And that's why sono sola come lei. Because lei, she, in this case is object in the syntax, so it is her. But we are talking about the moon, which is female. And then we have other two lines referencing the intro. Cosa fai? What do you do? Mentre tutti sognano. While everyone is dreaming. With the difference that in Italian tutti is plural, so we have to match the number with the verb. And if I have to put it in a similar way in English, it would be okay, people technically not people works while all the people are dreaming. Ok. Just to put in perspective that tutti sognano is plural. So we have our narrator, our singer, our protagonist, if you will, saying, am I the only one after our breakup struggling in bed and losing my sleep? Or are you, my ex-lover, feeling the same? And then we have the pre-chorus. Ma forse ho oltrepassato il limite. But maybe I have exceeded the limit. Oltrepassare il limite can also mean to cross the line in Italian. So you can also see this line with this double meaning, because the full sentence is: ma forse ho oltrepassato il limite di ore senza te, but maybe I've exceeded the limit of hours without you. So, as I was saying, we can say exceeded the limit of hours, just like when you exceed the speed limit, okay? But also as crossing the line. So, am I exaggerating? I want to give Rosevillen this the benefit of the doubt and think that this can have the two readings. Sento il tuo nome e inizia a piovere. I hear your name and it starts to rain. It starts raining. Fuori e dentro me, outside and inside me. Where inizia a piovere, it starts to rain, is a metaphor for pain, specifically crying, because what does it mean that it rains outside me? That I am crying. Mi giro nel letto e non dormo più. I toss and turn. In English, toss and turn is more of an idiomatic expression. In Italian is just a verb, rigirarsi, which means turn and turn and turn and turn. So, because ri is a prefix that we use to hint at the fact that something is done multiple times. So, for example, rifare means to do something again. So, rigirare, or in this case, the reflexive form rigirarsi, is to turn yourself again. So the idea is to toss and turn, as in to keep turning in bed, as a manifestation of pain that can be physical or emotional. Mi rigiro nel letto e non dormo più. I toss and turn in bed and I don't sleep anymore. Vorrei saperti dire di no. I wish I could tell you no. We found other times this usage of the verb sapere. In Italian, sapere is a verb that has several meanings. Yeah, exactly. Concerning rigirare or rifare is the same concept of rido, just that we write it with the I and not with the E. Anyway, I was saying, we talk about sapere as an Italian verb several times. Sapere, normally, the main meaning is to know, literally speaking. However, it can have other secondary meanings, like in this way. In this way, it is used as the concept that if you know how to do something, you can do something. That's why I translated vorrei saperti dire di no, I wish I could tell you no. Because it would be I'd like to tell you no. I'd like to be able to tell you no. Because in this case, it means to know, but as in to can, because as I was saying, if you know how to do something, usually you can do it, conceptually speaking. C'è quel film che ti piaceva alla TV. There's that movie you liked on the TV. Sembra che stia parlando di noi. It seems like it's talking about us. And here we have an example of subjunctive, because the sentences introducing a statement, so where you have the main verb and then che, which is like that, then you want the subjunctive normally. So, sembra che stia piovendo, sembra che stia parlando, sembra che faccia brutto, penso che sia così. So, every time you have verb plus che, introducing what I would call a statement, it is you have to use the subjunctive. There are cases where you don't have to use the subjunctive, but this is a style choice, because the whole point of the subjunctive is that implies something you are not sure about. For example, if something seems, it is my subjective opinion about that. If I think that something is in a certain way, it is an objective opinion. So if I say I think it is, penso che sia, it seems to be, sembra che sia, I believe that it is, credo che sia, because in all those cases I am expressing a point of view. However, let's take another example. I know that it is. Io so che è. Okay? Because in this case, I know for certain that something is like that. Io so che è così. Since I know it for certain and I want to communicate this to the person I'm talking to, I use the indicative mood, because the indicativo expresses certainty, while the subjunctive expresses uncertainty. Okay, and this reasoning works only for the hypothetical periods. So, for example, if I come home early, I go do grocery shops, ok? Se arrivo a casa prima, vado a fare la spesa. In this case, I use the indicativo because it is certainty. Se arrivo, vado. 100% sure. But if I am not sure about this thing, it would be se arrivassi a casa prima, andrei a fare la spesa. Why am I changing the tenses and the moods of the verbs? Because I am expressing the fact that I am not certain that this is going to happen. Like, might be if If it happens, good. However, if it doesn't happen, good anyway. I can't guarantee it. This is the idea. No, actually, you can be very sure of yourself if you use the indicativo. So you're not very sure of yourself if you use a lot of subjunctive. Probably that's why people stopped to use them. They were worried to look weak. I don't know. Anyway, and then we have the last two lines of the pre-chorus. E se pensarti fosse un crimine, and if thinking about you was a crime, stanotte io sarei. That tonight I would be. And this, we were talking about hypothesis. That's a very good example of periodo ipotetico. Se fosse, io sarei. Se pensarti fosse un crimine, io sarei. Fuorilegge. Outlaw. An outlaw. Why? Why do we need the subjunctive and the conditional? Anyway, congiuntivo and condizionale. This is a congiuntivo, this is a condizionale with se, if we want the subjunctive, congiuntivo. In the second part, we want the condizionale. So, why are we using congiuntivo and condizionale? Because this is not real, because we know that thinking about your lover is not a crime. So it is an impossible hypothesis. And since it is impossible, it is not real, we don't use the mood of reality, which is indicativo. We use the mood of uncertainty, impossibility, prevision, probable things, imagination, which is the subjunctive and thus the condizionale. Yeah, these were ranked low, but because they weren't ranked that low, to be fair. Because they do their job, like it's not much, but it's honest work, sort of situation. And then we have the chorus, fuorilegge, outlaws, or outlaw, as in se pensarti fosse un crimine, stanotte io sarei fuorilegge. And if thinking about you was a crime, tonight I would be outlaw, or an outlaw. I know that in English you use more an outlaw as a construction. In Italian you can mean it as I would be out of law, I would be in a criminal position. So you can say sarei una fuorilegge, because Rose Villain is a lady. Or you can say I would be fuorilegge, not as a noun, not as a noun, like not as like an outlaw, but fuori legge, okay? So I would be out of the law. Then we have a repetition of fuorilegge, and in fact this is the catchy chorus with the whole dance. Partiamo domani, let's leave tomorrow, Bonnie and Clyde, coi sogni rubati, with the stolen dreams, senza di me cosa fai, what do you do without me? And then we have the second verse. Mentre tutti si amano, with the echo repeating si amano, while everyone loves each other, io rido del nostro destino avverso. I laugh at our adverse fate. And to be fair, with all the criticism to this song, destino avverso is not a colloquial term at all, is quite researched, if you will, quite poetic. Ascolta, almeno tu, nell'universo. Listen, at least you, in the universe. Mi inginocchio e chiedo agli angeli. I kneel down and ask the angels. Always remember, in Italian, when you ask someone, it is asked to someone. If you don't put a, which will be to, it means you are asking something, okay? For example, I ask you a favor, ti chiedo un favore. But if I want to say I ask Alex, where in English you know that you are not asking to receive the person, but you are asking to the person. In Italian you always have to say io chiedo ad Alex, because you ask to someone and you ask for someone, but in Italian you don't have the for. So when you ask to someone, because you are talking to the person, you say chiedere a. If you want something, so you want to receive that something, chiedo qualcosa, so without any addition. I kneel down and ask the angels di darmi ciò che ho perso, to give me what I have lost. And then we have the pre-chorus. Ma forse ho oltrepassato il limite, but maybe I've exceeded the limit, di ore senza te, of hours without you. Sento il tuo nome e inizia a piovere. I hear your name and it starts to rain. Fuori e dentro me, outside and inside me. Mi giro nel letto e non dormo più. I toss and turn in bed and I don't sleep anymore. Vorrei saperti dire di no. I wish I could tell you no. C'è quel film che ti piaceva alla TV. There's the movie you liked on TV. Sembra che stia parlando di noi. It seems like it's talking about us. E se pensarti fosse un crimine, and if thinking about you was a crime, stanotte io sarei, tonight I would be, fuorilegge, outlaw, or outlaws, yeah, probably to give better the idea, maybe the best translation is outlaws. Fuorilegge, outlaws. Partiamo domani, let's leave tomorrow. Bonnie e Clyde, Bonnie and Clyde, coi sogni rubati, with the stolen dreams. Senza di me cosa fai? What do you do without me? Then we have the third and last verse. Forse non sai che per te ho pianto. Maybe you don't know that for you I cried. And here we have an example of what I was saying. Forse non sai che, verb plus che, that, per te io ho pianto. Indicativo. Because it is about knowing something that happened for certain. So it is not a probability, is not an hypothesis, it is something that happened. So certainty, so indicativo. Stelle sopra al soffitto, stars above the ceiling, però io mi accontento, but I'm settled for it. Right. Accontentarsi literally comes from contento or contenta, the adjective, which means happy. So it is I'm happy with it, but not in a way of full happiness. It's more about settling for something, like it is what it is, I get what I get, sort of situation. Canzoni tristi dal primo piano, sad songs from the first floor. Like imagine being the neighbor between Ollie and Rose Villain. Tragic. You come out with depression, I guess. Cuori a 200 all'ora, hearts at 200 implied kilometers. Friendly reminder that in Italy we use, and the whole European Union, we use the metric system. So we calculate the speed, not miles per hour, but kilometers per hour. So hearts at 200 imply kilometers because in colloquial expressions we can imply the kilometers because it's given for granted. An hour. Ma vuoi ballare un lento, but you want to dance a slow dance. In English you have to express slow dance, so to explicit it. In Italian you can just say lento, so you use an adjective as a noun, and lento is masculine, the feminine would be lenta, because it would be un ballo lento, because dance, one of the translations of dance in Italian is ballo, which is masculine. We also have danza, which is feminine, but in this case we imply un ballo masculine lento. And here we have ideally an oxymoron, two opposite concepts, because our love is so passionate that our hearts are beating so fast, like 200 kilometers per hour, which is a lot. But you want to dance, so you want to go slowly in our relationship. So a lot of passion, but our relationship is not progressive. So we have this friction between how the relationship, the behavior is, and how our passion is. Probably one of the reasons why the love story has ended. And talking about endings, we have one last pre-chorus and one last chorus. Forse ho oltrepassato il limite. Here we have a variation because the chorus says sì, ho oltrepassato. So maybe I've exceeded the limit. Yes, I have exceeded. Di ore senza te, of hours without you, without you. Sento il tuo nome, inizia a piovere. I hear your name and it starts to rain, Fuori e dentro me, outside and inside me. Mi rigiro nel letto e non dormo più. I toss and turn in bed and I don't sleep anymore. Vorrei saperti dire di no. I wish I could tell you no. C'è quel film che ti piaceva alla TV. There's that movie you liked on TV. Sembra che stia parlando di noi. It seems like it's talking about us. E se pensarti fosse un crimine, and if thinking about you was a crime, stanotte io sarei, tonight I would be. Fuorilegge, outlaws, fuorilegge, outlaws. Partiamo domani, and here we have a cut concerning the normal chorus, because we have partiamo domani, let's leave tomorrow, Bonnie and Clyde, Bonnie e Clyde, Bonnie and Clyde, coi sogni rubati, without the stolen dreams, with the stolen dreams, Fuorilegge outlaws. And we have a change, we have a variation, because instead of the last usual line, senza di me cosa fai, we have a repetition of the start, which is Fuorilegge outlaws or outlaw. So, the time has come. The sunglasses are on. And the gossip is about to come and flow. So, where to start? Let's start with the comparison I promised at the beginning. So, why did I say that these remind me a bit of Olly, Balorda Nostalgia by Olly and La Cura per me by Giorgia? Because, but with a difference. Because Olly and Giorgia told a story with a very similar concept, where let's say that the premise is the same in all the songs. So, Balorda Nostalgia, La Cura per me, Fuorilegge. The premise is always the same. We broke up and I'm very sad about it. That's the premise. Sadness and nostalgia and melancholia post-breakup. The endings, however, are different. In Balorda Nostalgia, we have Olly explaining at the end that no, my glasses, the glasses broke. No, not the glasses. No. Like now is like I'm going to attach like these like, you know, the masks in the during the how it's called in the masquerade parties, where like you had like these I'm going to attach a stick, whatever, man, whatever. Like, I swear to God, already the thing was half broken here because it was missing this part. And but the fun fact, I have another pair of glasses, and this one is broken as well because it lost the part here that you are supposed to put on your nose. So whatever, man, rip the glasses. I'll use these to keep gesturing. Anyway, so I was saying, rip the glasses. We have different endings. In Olly's ending, we have acceptance. So we broke up. I felt sad, nostalgic, melancholic, broken-hearted, all the steps of grief. But then I realized that our relationship ended, and it is what it is. I'm fine with that. I'll get over it. Okay, I'm starting to get over it. Then we have Giorgia. Giorgia not only overcomes the breakup, but she also understands that the attachment in the couple was unhealthy, and by overcoming the breakup, she also found out that she's perfectly fine with herself. So you have this beautiful situation, not only of acceptance but also growth and understanding of oneself. And then we have the song of Rose Villain. How can I put it? Rose Villain didn't overcome the breakup at all. Like, she's like, we can get back together. I believe we can get back together. which is, I mean, there is no good ending, there is not ideal ending, because it depends on the person. um it can also mean, it can also talk about that moment where you didn't get over the relationship yet. So it is long, because in a certain way, Ollie and Georgia are quite fast with it. So I was sad, now I'm not sad anymore, I got over it. Fair, understandable. It goes like that for many relationship. But in the end, there are also other relationships where you just struggle. And it is legit that Rose Villain wanted to tell that part of the post breakup where you didn't get over it yet. And you keep thinking and being nostalgic about your past relationship. Choices. It is just about choices in the end. They all start with the same premise, and they propose a different perspective. So in this way, it is interesting. Now, let's make Alex happy. Alex has kind of some beef with Ross Villain on his side, because he can't stand the fact that the songs of Rose Villain are characterized by what I like to call an anti-drop. Usually in the pre-chorus, you have the build-up of the drop. But in Rose Villain songs, like for example Click Boom she brought in 2024, or Fuorilegge this year, she has the build up, but the drop is quite chill. And it's fucking funny because Alex hates it with his all being. But I know that many people appreciate it. Very TikTokish. The choreography was like it was made for TikTok. It is so evident. And it is okay, because in the end, winning Sanremo is nice and all, but in the end, you need to live as an artist, and you have to sell the tickets and get royalties from the streamings and everything. So I understand that Rose Villain maybe wants to be more on social media than in the high ranking of Sanremo. Everyone has different objectives. Yeah, Click Boom was again very social media product, which makes sense. Probably for Rose Villain, gaining popularity on social media is a more important objective than winning Sanremo. Each singer has its own objective and their own audience, right? So it's understandable. So we talk about the music, we talk about the dance. Let's talk about Sinapreta. What a time to be alive indeed. Okay, I have to explain this. During the Sanremo Music Festival 2025, just like any other year, we got blessed by several memes. By the way, Sina Preta is Sina Preta. And one of these memes was the Sina Preta. not all together, si instead of sei, na instead of una, and preta instead of pietra. Perfect. Now, I'm going to explain this. First night, Rose Villain needs to perform. She's focused, she's on the stage, she's about to sing, and someone, the mad lad, from the audience, in the perfect silence preceding the performance of the artist, shouts with all his might, "Sina preta." Now, what Sina preta means? Let's start by saying that Sina preta is not Italian. Sina preta is Napolitan, okay? Actually is common and shared by several dialects in Campania, which is the region where Naples is. And it literally means what in Italian would be tu sei una pietra. Tu implied, sei una pietra, which in English translates you are a rock. And you might ask me, so it is an insult? No, guys, no. It is actually a compliment, and it means, you are not ready for this, you are fucking hot, babe. This is what means. Now, as I explained in several occasions, Neapolitan is not my dialect, so I can't really understand and explain. Like, I can't really explain because I don't know why a rock is hot, okay, in Neapolitan. If we have, we have in the audience someone from, someone who speaks Campano or Napoletano, please let us know in the comments why rocks and stones are hot. Volcans, I have no clue. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, you are a rock. I mean, in English, when someone is cool, you say you rock. Maybe similar reason, non lo so. Maybe because like they have Vesuvio, which allegedly is quite full of hot rocks. Could be that. I'm not sure. Yeah, sexy pebble. So that became a meme because people started to shout Sina preta to the people on the stage. And it became a meme. And in fact, now Rose Villain also has the t-shirt with Sina preta. 10 out of 10. We were talking about the jackals yesterday. The jackals explain the thing about Sina preta because they are from Naples. So I recommend their video. Anyway. Okay, so we talk about that. We talk about Sina preta. Of course, someone asked, who the hell had the brilliant idea and also bravery of shouting Sina preta in the perfect silence of the audience before of the first performance of Rose Villain? Now, as you know, there are several, every Sanremo there are several artists competing for the crown, for the Sanremo crown. This year, one of them was Rocco Hunt. We are going to talk about his song. It's quite interesting and full of Napoletano. So I will be challenged and challenged to improve my Napolitan once again. Because he is from Salerno. Salerno is a city in Campania, Campania is the region where Naples is, so Salernitano and Napoletano are close dialects. That said, when you go to Sanremo, of course, you can bring with you friends, family, and whatnot. Rocco Hunt brought with him family, friends, people, and whatnot. So, guess what? The person who, with all his bravery, waited for the perfect silence of the audience, the moment right before the start, the beginning of the performance of Rose Villain, to shout with all his might and air in the lungs, Sina Preta, was in fact one of the friends of Rocco Hunt. And like this lore that dropped after the ending of Sanremo Music Festival cracked me up, because like it is like, I don't know, a crossover or something. It gives me the vibes of a crossover or something. Anyway, last bit of gossip, like today full of gossip, this last portion of the video. Apparently, Rose Villain, right before the start of just fucking right before the beginning of Sanremo Music Festival 2025, was accused of plagiarism. And you might think, oh, concerning the song, too easy like that. Apparently, Rose Villain has a makeup line of like a line of makeup products, okay? And apparently she copied the brand of another person. Now, I don't know if this is true or anything, but it was quite funny, because there was a little bit of panic before the beginning of the Sanremo Music Festival 2025, for the simple fact that we need normally we were supposed to have 30 artists competing. Before even starting with the festival, one was already outside, was already disqualified, because a whole legal issue, because he was under investigation for association with a criminal organization related to mafia. I don't know, like I don't know if how the thing ended, also because like I think it will take some time, because the news came out right before Sanremo Music Festival, and he decided to self-disqualify himself. So basically he retired from the competition, because he said, I don't want people to criticize me and complain about the fact that I got in a certain place just because of the rumors about me, or that I should have been lower in the ranking because of the investigation. I want to participate as an artist, and I don't want legal trouble going on while I participate. So I actually respect this from Emi Schilla. We are going to talk about his song as the last song I'm going to talk about in 2025 from Sanremo Music Festival 2025. So that was one. Then Francesca Michelin, my bad, fell from the stairs, fell down the stairs during the rehearsal, and she broke a part of her leg. And in fact, even in the performances, you can see that she has a bandage on her ankle. Then we had the frontman of Moda falling down the stairs as well and breaking a rib, if I remember correctly. And then, so like, even people were worried about Michelin and Moda retiring as well. And then this whole thing about Rose Villain copying another brand came out. So there were people worried about Rose Villain as well. I don't know how the situation ended up, to be fair. Like, I learn Italian with gossip. You can look for articles, videos. If you want some sources, I can look into them. Always tell me in the comments or on Discord, and I'll try to provide something concerning that matter. But yeah, it was a wild pre-festival, if you ask me. That said, I think I shared all the gossip I had about Rose Villain because, like, I had a lot. Anyway, that said, I hope you enjoyed this live. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to let me know what you think about this song in the comment section. Grazie everyone for watching and arrivederci.